You have followed the rules. You have worked hard. Maybe you have even succeeded on paper. But deep down, something feels hollow. Like you have done everything right, and yet something essential is still missing. Or maybe you have never found your footing. You have wandered from job to job, or from phase to phase, never truly arriving. You keep hoping that one day you will feel like enough. Whether you are highly functioning and simply exhausted, or lost in life and questioning everything that comes your way, there is one thing that ties it all together: a missing foundation. Something so essential, so quietly powerful, that its absence can make every victory feel meaningless, and its presence can make even struggle feel worth it. Yeah, you guessed it right. It's basic self-esteem. In his book, The Six Pillars of Self-Esteem, psychotherapist and thought leader Nathaniel Branden explains, self-esteem isn't a feeling we accidentally stumble into. It's a practice, a conscious choice, a way of relating to ourselves that shapes everything we do. And it's not built in one session or in one day. It is built on 6 foundation pillars. Once you have established true self-esteem, it will guide you through any hardship that life throws your way. Let's begin with the first pillar, the practice of living consciously. You can't change what you refuse to see, but many of us spend years pretending we're fine, pretending we're okay with things that gnaw at us quietly in the background, pretending we're unaware, just to avoid what that awareness might demand of us, to avoid the most unpleasant truths of ourselves possible. Living consciously means facing reality as it is, no matter what. Your choices, your patterns, your avoidance, your potential. It's the courage to say, I want to know the truth, even when it's inconvenient. You wake up with a tight chest every morning, chalking it up to stress. You drink your coffee and bury yourself in meaningless work to pay the regular bills. But this feeling never leaves. You never ask where it comes from, because the answer might unravel everything. Living consciously would mean slowing down, listening in, asking yourself, what am I not willing to feel? Without self-awareness, no real change is possible. Your status quo remains unseen. But with it, even small shifts become powerful. That brings us to the second pillar, the practice of self-acceptance. Self-awareness without self-acceptance turns into self-rejection, which is just as harmful to your life circumstances. You see your flaws, your shadows, your fear, and you judge them harshly. Real self-acceptance means greeting those parts of you with honesty, not hostility. Take Sarah, for example. She's always been the strong one, the achiever, the problem solver. But lately she's been unraveling. Bursts of anger, crushing fatigue, silent anxiety. She feels ashamed of her collapse until one night, sitting alone in the dark, she whispers to herself, I'm scared, and I'm tired, and that's allowed. For the first time, her body relaxes. Not because her circumstances changed, but because she stopped fighting herself. That's the shift from internal war to internal welcome. Only from that space can you rise again, like a phoenix from the ashes. Branden says it best, accepting does not mean approving. It means refusing to be at war with yourself. And from that inner peace, we arrive at the third pillar, the practice of self-responsibility. No one is coming, not to rescue you, not to rewrite your past, not to give your life meaning. But that's not a curse. That is true power. When you take responsibility for your experience, you stop waiting and start creating. Self-responsibility means asking, what am I doing to contribute to the life I'm living? Where do I give away my power by blaming others or circumstances? Branden doesn't sugarcoat this. He invites you to become the author of your very own life. That doesn't mean self-blame. It means self-ownership. A woman realizes she keeps ending up in relationships where she feels invisible. Instead of calling all men narcissists, she looks at her own patterns. When does she shrink? When does she silence her needs? And slowly, she begins to reclaim her voice. Responsibility starts with one question. What do I need to take back from the world and bring home to myself? Which leads naturally to the fourth pillar, the practice of self-assertiveness. You know what happens when you keep quiet long enough? You forget the sound of your own truth. Self-assertiveness isn't about being loud or combative. It's about being clear, being real, and to stand up for oneself whenever someone or something tries to shut you down. It's the ability to stand in your truth without needing permission or apology. Darren spent his life accommodating everyone else. At work, at home, in friendships, he was the nice guy until his body started to protest. Stomach issues, headaches, emotional numbness. One day, in a meeting, someone interrupted him. And for the first time, he calmly acknowledges the eager attempt to add to his part. Let me finish first. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't aggressive. But it was honest. And it changed everything. Sometimes the most radical thing you can do is simply say what's true for you. Nothing more or nothing less. From that truth, we move to the fifth pillar, the practice of living purposefully. There's a unique pain that comes from drifting, waking up without a sense of why you're here, filling your time but starving your soul. Living purposefully doesn't mean you need a grand mission or a 10-year plan. It means asking, day by day, what do I want to move toward? What do I want to leave behind? Purpose gives direction. Without it, you're reactive, bouncing from demand to demand. With it, you're anchored, no matter how hard the wind blows. One simple tool, set one intention every morning. Not a task, a why, such as, today, I want to lead with honesty. Today, I want to protect my energy. Today, I want to create something that matters. Your purpose doesn't need to impress anyone. It just needs to mean something to you. And finally, the sixth pillar, the practice of personal integrity. This one is quiet, but foundational. You know that uneasy feeling when you go against your values, that dull tension in your chest, that inner voice that whispers, that's not who you are. Integrity means acting in line with your deepest truth, even when no one's watching. Every time you honor a promise to yourself, your self-trust grows. And every time you betray it, your self-respect erodes, drop by drop. A young man decides to stop exaggerating his success to impress people. It's a small shift, but every time he tells the truth, he feels lighter, more real, more whole. As Branden says, when my behavior is congruent with my values, I feel worthy of respect from myself. That's self-esteem, not ego, not image, but the quiet confidence of living in alignment. And when all six pillars come together, consciousness, acceptance, responsibility, assertiveness, purpose, and integrity, you stop performing. And you start being. You stop proving your worth. And start experiencing it. You stop waiting to feel better and begin living like someone who already matters. If this message stirred something in you, don't let it fade into the noise. Subscribe to Read Easy HQ. You're not alone in this, and someone in your life may be quietly waiting to hear exactly what you just did. Send this to them. It might just be the mirror they need. Self-esteem isn't a gift you earn, and it's a home you build with every choice you make. And today might be the first brick. Let's keep building together.